I always thought I knew my son. He smiled at me every morning, called me mom with that innocent tone, and told me he loved me. I trusted him completely, more than anyone else in the world. But one evening something changed everything. I found his diary. At first I tried to convince myself it was nothing serious. Maybe just silly teenage thoughts, doodles, or little secrets. I smiled as I flipped through the pages, remembering the small, sweet moments he wrote about. But then I noticed something unusual. Subtle hints, little lies here and there. And with every page I read, the knot in my stomach grew tighter. I discovered messages he had hidden, plans I never knew about, things he promised he would never do. He was hiding friends, places he went, even people I had never heard of. Every word he had said to me, every promise of love, suddenly felt like a lie. I couldn't breathe. I felt the trust one had built for years cracking under my hands. I kept reading, unable to stop. Each new discovery was worse than the last. He was planning things that could hurt others, things that could destroy our family. I felt a storm of emotions. Fear, anger, betrayal. I wanted to scream, to shake him, to demand answers. But I also knew that whatever I did in that moment had to be measured, because I had to protect him as well as our family. For hours I sat there, the diary open on my lap. I thought about all the times I had laughed with him, hugged him, believed in him completely. And I wondered, how could he hide all of this from me? How could the child I raised, nurtured, and loved so deeply lead a secret life right under my nose? Finally, I knew I had to act. Silence would only make things worse. Every lie had consequences, and he had to understand that. I called him to me that evening. I placed the diary on the table in front of him, my hands shaking slightly. He froze, his eyes wide, searching my face for a clue, any sign that I didn't know. I looked at him and said, "We need to talk. I know everything." He tried to speak, to explain, to deny. "Mom, I can explain." But I shook my head. There were no explanations that could erase what I had just discovered. Each lie had piled up over the years, and now it all had to come out. He realized then that there was no hiding, no escaping. For what felt like an eternity, we sat there in silence. I could feel his fear, his confusion, his shame. And I felt a strange mix of emotions myself. Sadness for the child I thought I knew, anger for the deception, and determination to make sure he understood the consequences of his actions. I told him everything I had read, every secret he had tried to keep from me. I spoke calmly, even though my voice trembled. I wanted him to feel the weight of his choices, to truly grasp the impact of his lies. He listened, eyes downcast, and I could see the realization dawning. The understanding that trust, once broken, is not easily repaired. After what felt like hours, I closed the diary. I felt a weight lift from my shoulders, but also a deep sadness. I loved him, and I still do, but love is not blind. Sometimes love means setting boundaries, showing where the line is, and making hard decisions even when it hurts. That night I realized something important. Protecting him doesn't always mean shielding him from consequences. Sometimes protecting someone means guiding them to face the truth, to learn from their mistakes, and to understand the impact of their actions. I am a mother. I loved my son then, and I still love him now. But I also had to be strong. I had to be the one to confront the truth, to show him that honesty matters, that trust cannot be taken for granted. And as I watched him that night, I hoped he understood. This was not punishment. It was a chance to learn, to grow, to become someone better. Now the diary is closed. The secrets have been revealed. We still have a long road ahead, but at least the truth is out. And sometimes the truth is the only way forward.